the time of her life. You hear that? That's a perfect introduction for this video. I lived in Buenos Aires for 12 years. I studied here. I now work here. We're raising our son here. Today I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why Buenos Aires is a better place to live. Before we get started, let me point out the obvious. That Buenos Aires, like every place in the world, is a city with many positives and many negatives. And this video is just about a few of the positive things I see about living here. My experience here is just one of many, and I want to share with you my life in the most honest way possible. So let's get started. Buenos Aires is a city with active street life across the city. Forget about those big box stores, those grocery stores as big as a football field. Here's how you do your shopping in Buenos Aires. Put on your shoes, you grab your cloth bag, you walk out the door, and walk about 20 yards to the vegetable shop on the corner. Then you go next door to that, you go to the bakery, and then the butcher shop, the plumbing supply store, the hardware store, the fresh pasta shop. All of these little mom and pop shops are in neighborhoods across the city. They're the heart and soul of the middle class in Argentina. You actually feel like you belong to a community here in Buenos Aires. It's one of my favorite things about living here. You know your neighbors because you see them at the shops. You develop little relationships with the shopkeepers because you see them every other day when you do your shopping. You have a real sense of community in the city. Speaking of active street life, I love the energy and the activity in the many parks and squares of Buenos Aires. These places serve as everyone's backyard, and you see the full comedy and the drama of the city play out on full display in these public spaces. And on any evening or weekend, there's an awesome organized chaos here with people running and working out, soccer games and picnics, bike riding and birthday parties, dance classes, and dogs running wild. These are not pristine, perfectly manicured green spaces, right? This isn't a botanical garden. These are places that get used every day. And what's the net effect of this park life? Is that, again, it gives a real sense of community to the city. For better or worse, you see your neighbors. I want to interrupt right here for a second to ask you to take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Now, I started doing these videos about Argentina because I believe it is a place with an outsized culture and history and people and food and drink and destinations. And it's a place that deserves more love and attention than it gets. It's a country that's been very good to me, and I want to show you what I know of it. By you subscribing and hitting the notification bell, it helps me do just that. You do not need a car in Buenos Aires. I haven't had a car since I've been here because it has a fully functional public transportation system. There's 3 pieces to the public transportation system in Buenos Aires. You've got 6 subway lines, including this one here. You have over 400 bus lines, which connect you from every little corner of the city to another. And you have a commuter rail system, which takes you from the center of the system to the outer suburbs. The combination of these 3 components of the public transportation system makes it really easy to get around. And if all of that fails you, if for whatever reason you can't get a bus or a subway where you're going, you can always count on the classic, the iconic yellow and black taxis, which are prowling the streets of Buenos Aires at all hours of the day. Now, you can also take an Uber or a Cabify or any of the other ride-sharing knockoffs. In any case, you do not need to have a car in Buenos Aires. Talking about a carless lifestyle, Buenos Aires is a great city for biking. And I'm not talking about biking for leisure, for exercise. I'm talking about using your bicycle as a reliable mode of transportation every single day. Why is Buenos Aires a good city for biking? Well, it's incredibly flat. Don't forget, Buenos Aires was built in these Argentine grasslands called the Pampas. So you have almost no up and down in the entire city. Another reason is that Buenos Aires has a relatively mild climate. It never snows, right? You get very few days, even in the 30s. And yeah, it does get hot in January and February here, but it's not unbearable. So you can reliably bike commute 12 months of the year. Here's a great detail. You'll find a bike shop like this one in every neighborhood of the city. I'm not talking just upscale bike shops that sell you $1 million bike. I'm talking about bike shops for the people. Places that will patch your tire, oil your chain, do simple repairs. More than once, I've been cruising across the city on my bike, popped a tire, and I've been able to find a bike shop like this one within 2 or 3 blocks, no matter where I am. It's like having a Tour de France support team in every neighborhood of the city. These are fundamental neighborhood institutions, and they're going to keep you moving. Every parking garage in the city is required by law to allow you to leave your bicycle there. They are safe and inexpensive places to park your bike. God, there's so much information in this video. It's unbelievable. Now, this one might be especially shocking to my friends in the States, but I actually don't have health insurance here. I just use the public hospitals and clinics like the one you see here. Now, this public system takes care of my needs and has for the last 12 years. I occasionally pay out of pocket for a one-off service. The other day I wanted to get my eyes checked, and I just went to the private clinic around the corner from my house and paid about $11 for a visit. We do have private insurance for our son, and we pay about $15 a month for that. Now listen, the system isn't perfect. It's underfunded and overused. But the upshot is this: if you move to Argentina, you'll have your healthcare needs taken care of. All right, that's it for today's video. I'm sure we're gonna do another one like this real soon. We'll see you next time. Thanks.